We're only halfway through 2025 and we have already found some legendary lost media. And honestly, this is the year of lost pilot episodes being found. Which is funny that I'm even saying that because I said the same thing last year. And of course, thank you for clicking on this video, but let's just get straight to the first topic. We're starting off this first topic with a disturbing piece of lost media, which was found on January 1st, 2025. Literally the first day of the year lost media was found. Not only that, but this is a very old piece of media that was from Oswald the Lucky Rabbit TV show that aired all the way back in 1929. The lost episode that was found is titled The Offing Sheik, which due to YouTube's guidelines, I am not allowed to say the S word, which is just complete bullshit. The short starts off with Oswald skipping and frolicking with his Latina, and once he drops her off at her place, Oswald proposes to her and wants 16 kids, but she tells him to kick rocks instead. After that, the short takes a very disturbing turn because Oswald is heartbroken. Throughout the short, he tries to find ways to erase himself from existence. Oswald sees a man lifting a heavy safe with rope, so he gets out a pair of scissors to cut the rope, which causes the safe to fall. Oswald tries to get underneath the safe, but the man pushes Oswald out of the way to save him, but gets crushed in the process. Oswald makes a disturbing hand gesture, telling the audience that he's going to shoot himself with a cannonball, but it turns out to be a dud. Oswald tries again with the rope, ties it to the cannon, and pushes the cannon down a cliff. While Oswald braces himself, the Latina that rejected him calls out for help because she's trapped in a burning building. Oswald then attempts to escape the situation he put himself and hops inside the cannon to launch himself to the burning building. He then saves her and the short ends. This is a real short that was made back in the day, and it's super cool that this piece of lost media was found. Not only that, but this is giving me Offing Mouse AVI vibes, considering the plots are similar despite one being a creepypasta. But hey, I guess we can now say that we have our own real version of that creepypasta. I had no idea that this was a thing, but Korea had their own version of Blue's Clues. Now, I'm not surprised that other countries aired Blue's Clues on TV, but I expected it to be dubbed or subbed. However, in Korea, they had a complete different actor playing Steve. Or should I say, Uncle. The Korean version of Blue's Clues, titled This, which translates to Riddle Blue or sometimes Mystery Blue, premiered on the South Korean network KBS2 on July 24, 2000 and ran until November 8, 2001. Unlike the other international versions that simply dubbed the original episodes, Korea created its own unique take by introducing a new host character named Uncle, who was played by a comedian, replacing the role of Steve entirely. Another notable difference was the show's opening, which was changed to feature a traditional Korean folk song instead of the original theme. Only a small amount of footage from Korea's version of Blue's Clues has surfaced over the years. One of the earliest clips to appear was a bumper featuring a short segment from the show, originally uploaded to YouTube by user Kodong Hyun and later archived by DKL3 on archive.org. Another brief appearance of the Korean adaptation came to the US 10th anniversary special Behind the Clues 10 Years with Blue. At one point, the Korean blogger discovered a tape containing some footage from the KBS2 series and shared screenshots on their blog. Another blogger managed to locate the show's theme song and uploaded it as well. While a few VHS tapes and music CDs were officially released in Korea, they're now extremely rare and haven't been on sale since 2002. Despite that, a few tips were eventually ripped and uploaded online. A full episode resurfaced on June 16, 2020 thanks to YouTube user Shining Road TV, although this was removed shortly after due to a copyright strike. But it was eventually later re-uploaded on the Internet Archive. On July 3, 2020, 4 additional episodes were discovered and shared through a Google Photos album. These 2 were later added to the archive, taken down, and re-uploaded again. More recently, on February 4th, 2025, 7 new episodes were found by YouTuber JJJ4 through a Google Drive link, some of which had previously only been documented through still images. These episodes have also been uploaded to the Internet Archive. There was a total of 34 episodes, but a majority of the show is still lost, with only a few episodes being partially found due to only a few clips existing. The only reason why I'm talking about this piece of lost media is to spread more awareness. But do keep in mind that on February 4th of this year, 7 whole episodes were found, which is still big news. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it is super weird how South Korea got their own version of Blue's Clues because, like I said, I expected them to dub it or, add subtitles, but I guess they decided to go with their own version, which is pretty neat. VeggieTales Live was a touring stage show series based on the popular VeggieTales franchise, first debuting on January 29, 2002 with VeggieTales Live on stage at the State Theater in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The live performance continued over the years with new productions being staged through 2015. Several shows have since been recovered in full, including the original 2002 production Rockin' Tour Live from 2005 and 2006, God Made You Special Live from 2008, Sting Yourself Silly from 2010, and most of 2013's Happy Birthday Bob and Larry, as well as 2014's Silly Song Sing Along. Other shows remain partially lost, with only clips, scattered footage, and promotional images available online. Some additional pieces of media related to the live shows have surfaced over the years, such as the live version of the VeggieTales theme song and the track A Friend is a Friend from the 2002 show.
I was scared when I thought that I had lost you.
Archived versions of the official VeggieTales and Big Idea website have preserved promotional material and trailers for all the shows that can still be found on the VeggieTales DVDs, VHS tapes, and YouTube. It remains unclear whether Big Idea ever recovered full versions of the unreleased shows or still holds them in its archives. On December 25th, 2024, YouTuber Nintega Dario shared an early draft script from the original 2002 show, which he had received from an anonymous source. Then on February 7th, 2025, the ultimate unofficial VeggieTales channel uploaded the complete 2002 stage performance to YouTube. 2 weeks later, the same channel followed up with the full recording from the second leg of Rockin' Tour Live. Just like the Korean Blues Clues, these live tours are still not fully found, and I wanted to talk about it in this video just to spread more awareness. But luckily in 2025, we did find 2 more episodes. Real Monsters was the original pitch pilot for what would later become Our Real Monsters, the animated Nickelodeon series that ran from October 1994 to December 1997. The pilot was created in 1993 by production company Klasky Chupo as a way to pitch the concept to Nickelodeon. Prior to its eventual discovery, very little was known about the pilot beyond a few details, most notably that the character, the Gromble, was originally named the Womble. The name was reportedly changed to avoid confusion with the Wombles, a different series airing around the same time. The plot of the pilot followed the same general storyline as the series' premiere episode, The Switching Hour. There was long-standing speculation about its length, whether it was an 11-minute short like most episodes or a full-length 22-minute version. A fan resource, the unofficial Rugrats Online, claimed the pilot was titled Monsters Get Real, which ran for 6 minutes and had about 5 minutes of new animation added when adapted into the first aired episode. Composer Drew Newman, who worked on the main series, also provided the music for the original pilot. For years, the only glimpses of the pilot came from 3 low-quality screenshots and a 1994 promo that was uploaded to YouTube by user That90sGuy, which featured brief clips from the pilot. That video was eventually removed following the user's termination, though a version was later archived via the Wayback Machine. Then, on February 15th, 2025, the full pilot was finally uploaded to Reddit in the r/cartoon subreddit by user Oprah Windu, who had received it from a friend. The version shared was an AI upscaled and cropped to 16:9. Just 2 days later, on February 17th, a higher quality version in its original aspect ratio was uploaded to the Internet Archive by Lost Media Wiki user Haley, making the pilot fully accessible for the first time. The Cigarette and the Weed is a short animated film created by controversial animation icon Ralph Bakshi, best known for works like Fritz the Cat, American Pop, and Cool World. Released in 1981, the short was Ralph's attempt to return to the tradition of having animated cartoons play before featured films in theaters. Running at just around 3 minutes, the film follows a simple narrative. A weed growing through a city sidewalk encounters a discarded cigarette butt. The two briefly talk before the cigarette rolls into a puddle and gets extinguished. While the short was never widely distributed, it did see limited screenings at various film festivals over the years. A short silent snippet of the animation also made an appearance in 1982's Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, serving as one of the few publicly viewable clips at the time. On February 25, 2025, Ralph officially released the full short onto his Twitter account, making it available to the public in its entirety for the first time. Drawn Together is an American adult animated sitcom created by Dave Jesser and Matt Silverstein that originally aired on Comedy Central from October 27, 2004 to November 14, 2007. The show was marketed as the first animated reality TV show that followed various cartoon archetypes living in a house together in a parody of the real world. To pitch the concept, David, Matt, and Jordan Young created a brief pilot presentation around 2003. Not much was known about the early versions for years, other than a mention in a 2003 Variety article stating that it was shown to Comedy Central programming executives who quickly gave the project a green light. The pilot looked quite different from the final product. It featured lower quality flash animation, and several characters had very different designs. Ling Ling was green instead of orange, Captain Hero had a different hairstyle, a darker suit with a different emblem, and no cape. Xander wore a different outfit and hairstyle and was voiced by Jess Arnold, and Princess Clara resembled Disney's Alice instead of the generic princess parody seen in the final series. For years, the pilot was never seen, besides the people that worked on the show, of course. It wasn't included on any of the DVD releases, and only a brief silent clip was shown in a behind-the-scenes documentary on the Drawn Together movie, The Movie DVD. Due to negative opinions from creators about the pilot, many believed it would never surface. That changed on March 17, 2025, when Matt uploaded the full pilot to his YouTube channel. This next piece of lost media is a big one. Family Guy is an animated sitcom created by Seth MacFarlane that aired on January 31st, 1999. But before the show officially premiered, a 16-minute unaired pilot was produced sometime in 1998. This early version would later evolve into the show's debut episode, Death Has a Shadow, though it features noticeably different animation, character designs, clothing, and a number of scenes that were ultimately scrapped. Fox reportedly gave Seth MacFarlane only $50,000 to create the pilot, significantly less than the typical $1 million budget for most animated pilots at the time. Seth animated the pilot himself over the span of 6 months, working out of his house, and collaborated with Jim Kenshin Productions. However, following its production, Jim Kenshin attempted to claim full credit and filed a lawsuit against both Fox and MacFarlane on June 1st, 1999. The case was dismissed on November 28, 2000. For years, only partial footage of the pilot was available, and about the first 7 minutes of it appeared on the Family Guy Volume 2 DVD set, released on September 9th, 2003. The remaining footage was replaced by a coming soon screen. Outside of that, only a few low-quality screenshots, some snippets in early promos and interviews with Seth MacFarlane, and several now defunct QuickTime clips from a fan site offered additional glimpses. There were even stills used on early promotional materials, like an edited shot from the chicken fajitas joke that appeared on the show's 1999 online shop landing page. On March 20th, 2025, the full pilot finally resurfaced when user Ghost the Dead Girl discovered the complete 16-minute version hosted on the personal website of Robert Paulson, who had been credited as part of the show's digital ink and paint and compositing team. The pilot had apparently been sitting on the site since around September 2022, and as mentioned, this is for sure one of the biggest pieces of lost media that were found in 2025. Captain Underpants is a children's book series created by Dave Prickley, centered around two fourth-grader boys, George Beard and Harold Hutchins, who hypnotize their principal into becoming their homemade comic book superhero. This series has seen massive success with 12 books, a spin-off series, Dogman, and a 2017 animated film. And also, I'm pretty sure Dogman also got a movie not too long ago. But nearly a decade before the first official novel release, Prickley wrote an early version of the concept titled The Really Cool Adventures of Captain Underpants, self-published in 1989 while he was attending Kent State University. The 48-page book was sold for 10 cents at local stores around Kent, Ohio, and Prickley donated some of the proceeds to charity including Goodwill and United Way. Wait, what the hell? It's Pilkey? I've legit been pronouncing it Prickley since I was a little kid. Yo, what? This is news to me. Also, Dave, in case you're watching this video, I'm still gonna be calling you Prickley. A February 1989 Springfield News Sun article mentioned the book was nearly complete at the time, quoting Dave as saying it was basically a good versus evil type thing. Unlike the later books, this version of Captain Underpants lived in Cleveland, and a separate 1989 Limo News article listed several villains featured in the prototype, including the Skunk Woman, Sid Dawn, and his dog Sadup, and the one and only, the Incredible Hunk. The original design of Captain Underpants had a sharper, more detailed look compared to the later cartoonish style. Because of the limited release, estimated at only 25 to 50 copies, this early version is considered lost. On September 17, 2017, a CBS Sunday morning video showcased Dave Prickley briefly holding a copy of the prototype, revealing parts of its colored front and back cover. Outside of Dave's own copy, only one other is publicly known to exist. It was shown online by Reddit user The Abitting Times in 2020, who originally bought it during its release. On March 20th, 2025, the same user uploaded several interior pages to Reddit, but declined to share the full book, citing copyright concerns, which is an extremely weird excuse. Growing up, I loved Captain Underpants. I still have a few books till this day, and not gonna lie, I kinda wanna get my hands on one of the original copies. From the looks of it, it's only rare because it's only estimated that there's about 25 to 50 copies, but I'm so down to get one. In 1979, Britt Allcroft acquired the rights to adapt the Rail Race series for television. Over the next 2 years, she met with numerous animators while deciding on the show's visual style, ultimately settling on live-action model animation after collaborating with David Mitton. With a commitment from ITV, Allcroft personally funded a low-budget test pilot by mortgaging her home. Filming took place over 3 weeks in March and April 1983. The pilot adapted the story down the mine and was used to pitch the concept to networks. The pilot featured early, rough versions of the models. Thomas had simplified side rods, no red lining, and a different face than in the finished series. Annie and Clarabelle were built from kits and had untested, unreliable chassis, requiring them to be pulled with fishing wire. Smoke generators installed in the models caused heat damage to their plastic bodies, and eye mechanisms frequently malfunctioned, often veering off suddenly or getting stuck. These issues were later fixed for the series. The pilot was never broadcast publicly and only shown in private screenings. After its test screening in April 1983, it was later shown by Shining Time station co-creator Rick to a preschool audience. Though he no longer possesses the tape, he has stated that all materials were turned over to Mattel. According to user Tom Props, who had been in contact with the former crew members, the pilot models were later refurbished and reused for the main series. Gordon's model was upgraded with the new chassis and detailed paintwork, while Thomas received lamp irons and other structural modifications. For decades, the pilot remained elusive. In 2022, its dialogue and visuals leaked online. A production packet from the time confirmed the pilot was originally intended to be narrated by Ringo Starr. In April 2024, a still image was publicly shared by Lost Media researcher Sewer Reviewer, and on May 8, 2025, the Reading Chronicle reported that the pilot had been recovered and reconstructed using footage from both the original reels and existing episodes, with new music composed by longtime series composer Mike O'Donnell. The reconstructed pilot was released the next day, May 9, 2025, appearing early in an article on People.com. Damaged film elements have been located in Mattel's archives, helping bring the long-lost test episode to light as part of the franchise's 80th anniversary. On August 15, 2007, a YouTube user named LotusMan17 uploaded Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret, a fake tutorial that claimed to reveal how to unlock Luigi in the game. It was actually a screamer, ending abruptly with a jump scare from the KV copy commercial, better known as the Ghost Car video. The video gained popularity and was widely shared to prank unsuspecting viewers, eventually amassing over 698,000 views before being deleted in late 2011. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of views, but back then, that was crazy viral. The 5-minute video, edited with Windows Movie Maker, featured scrolling text and gameplay footage recorded off-screen with a flip phone to make it seem more authentic. Lotus had used the Toad's Tool 64-level editor to alter the castle's layout, change Mario's outfit, and replace textures with custom ones made in MS Paint. Steps included actions like running around the fountain or kicking a boo, with music such as those chosen by the planet from Final Fantasy VII, and Whispers in the Dark by Skrillex playing in the background. Due to copyright issues, part of the video was eventually muted and later replaced with Database by 009 Sound System after Lotus accepted a $40 offer to swap the track. The video ended with the instruction to press A on the wall, which triggered the jump scare, followed by credits scrolling up the screen. Although Lotus has said he may have deleted the video by mistake, an archived Facebook post suggests he removed it due to backlash and hate comments. He confirmed he no longer had the file, and the Internet Archive never captured it. Only fragments of the original video survived. A reaction video showed about 28 seconds from the beginning and end, though the full reaction is now lost. In May 2024, an additional 40 seconds from the beginning were recovered from a private reaction video and uploaded with the faces blurred. In May 2025, the first 47 seconds were found by a Lost Media Wiki user on an old Windows XP hard drive. These clips confirmed the origin of the video's thumbnail. However, the majority, about 4.5 minutes, still remain lost. Although it is still lost, I feel like it is important to add this in the video because we are officially another step closer to fully find this iconic YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you made it this far, I have a good feeling that you probably enjoyed it, so feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these, and I do have another big Lost Media video coming out very soon. And if you like this video, you will love this one right here. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you guys.